The story of pigs and demons, a lesson for all generations. In the region of the Gerasenes, near the shores of a tranquil lake, there lived a man whose life was a living nightmare. The people of the nearby villages knew him only as the madman of the tombs. He roamed among the graves, his cries piercing the stillness of the night. His body was scarred, not only from the jagged stones he used to harm himself, but also from the unseen battles raging within him. This man was tormented by many demons, so powerful that no human force could subdue him. The villagers had tried everything to control him. They bound him with chains and shackles, but he tore them apart as if they were threads. They built fences and set guards, but nothing could keep him contained. Fearful and helpless, they abandoned him to the tombs and the wilderness, hoping he would disappear from their lives. But the man did not disappear. His presence lingered, a haunting reminder of forces beyond human understanding. He was both feared and pitied, a man caught between the living and the dead, his mind and soul enslaved by an unseen enemy. One morning, as the sun rose over the horizon, painting the sky with hues of orange and gold, a boat appeared on the lake. The villagers watched from a distance as it neared the shore. In it were 13 men, one of whom radiated an aura of peace and authority that seemed to calm the very waves. As soon as the boat landed, the tormented man, who had been watching from his perch among the tombs, felt an overwhelming compulsion to approach. Something about this man, stepping out of the boat, drew him like a moth to a flame. Without hesitation, he ran down the hillside, his movements wild and desperate. The man fell at the feet of Jesus, trembling, and cried out in a voice not his own, "What do you want with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? I beg you, do not torment me." The villagers, who had begun to gather at a safe distance, watched in shock. They had never seen the man in such a submissive state. Jesus, calm and composed, looked at the man with compassion. "Come out of this man, you impure spirit," he commanded, his voice firm yet filled with mercy. The man let out a guttural scream as the demons resisted. Jesus asked, "What is your name?" The reply came in a voice that was chilling and layered, as though many were speaking at once. "My name is Legion, for we are many." The demons, knowing their time was up, began to beg, "Do not send us out into the abyss. Let us go into the pigs." Jesus glanced up at the hillside, where a large herd of pigs, numbering about 2,000, grazed peacefully. Their herdsmen, oblivious to the spiritual battle unfolding below, tended to them with care. Without hesitation, Jesus granted the demons' request. "Go," he said simply. What happened next left the villagers stunned. As soon as the demons entered the pigs, the animals went into a frenzy. They squealed and stampeded wildly, their peaceful grazing replaced by chaos. The entire herd rushed down the steep bank and plunged into the lake, where they drowned in the deep waters. The herdsmen, terrified and bewildered, fled to the village to report what they had seen. "The pigs! All of them! They've drowned! And the madman, he's been healed," they shouted as they ran. Meanwhile, the man who had been possessed sat at Jesus' feet. For the first time in years, his eyes were clear, his mind was at peace, and his body was still. He was clothed, likely with garments provided by Jesus' disciples, and his face bore an expression of gratitude and wonder. The villagers, drawn by the herdsmen's frantic reports, came to see for themselves. They found the man transformed, no longer the wild, dangerous figure they had avoided for so long. But instead of rejoicing, fear gripped their hearts. The loss of the pigs was a heavy blow. To the villagers, the herd represented their livelihood, their source of income and sustenance. They could not understand why such a loss had occurred or how this stranger had the power to command unclean spirits. They began to plead with Jesus to leave their region. "Go away from us," they said. "We cannot bear your presence here." Jesus, respecting their wishes, prepared to leave. As Jesus stepped into the boat, the man who had been freed ran to him. "Let me come with you," he begged. But Jesus had a different mission for him. "Go home to your people," he said, "and tell them how much the Lord has done for you and how he has had mercy on you." The man obeyed. He returned to his village and began to share his story. "I was lost, tormented by forces I could not control. But Jesus, the Son of God, set me free. His mercy has given me a new life." The people who heard him were amazed. His transformation became a testimony that spread far beyond the Gerasenes, reaching neighboring regions and inspiring many to seek Jesus for themselves. This story is not just about one man's deliverance or the loss of a herd of pigs. It is a profound lesson about spiritual battles, the value of a single soul, and the power of Jesus to bring freedom and restoration. The pigs, in their destruction, symbolize the chaos and destruction that sin and evil bring. The demons revealed their true nature by driving the pigs to their death, showing that their ultimate goal is always to destroy. But the man's freedom demonstrates the power of Jesus to overcome even the darkest forces. It reminds us that no one is beyond his reach, and no cost is too great to save a soul. In our modern lives, we may not see demons entering pigs, but the battle between good and evil is just as real. Spiritual impurities, temptations, and distractions can easily take root in our hearts, leading us away from God. Like the man in the story, we must come to Jesus for deliverance. And like the villagers, we must decide how to respond to his power. Will we fear and reject him, or will we embrace his transforming grace? Conclusion: this story invites us to reflect on our own lives. Are there areas where we need Jesus' deliverance? Are there pigs in our lives, things that symbolize impurity or distraction, that need to be cast away? Jesus still offers the same freedom today as he did in the region of the Gerasenes. He values every soul and desires to bring restoration and peace to all who seek him. Let this story inspire you to trust in his power, share his mercy, and live in the freedom he offers. If this discussion has inspired or intrigued you, we warmly invite you to become part of our community by liking, sharing, and subscribing to the Bible Stories channel. By doing so, you'll stay connected to more engaging content that delves into the timeless truths of God's Word. Your thoughts, questions, and reflections are always welcome. Share them in the comments below, and let's continue this journey of discovery and spiritual growth together.